What if everything you thought you knew about your identity, your destiny, and your place in history was only a fragment of a much greater truth? What if the story of your life was tied to an ancient mystery hidden for thousands of years, waiting to be uncovered at the appointed time? Deep within the pages of Scripture, concealed in prophecy, lies the truth of the 12 tribes. And this truth is not just about history, it is about you, your future, and the very reason you are here on this earth. The human heart longs for belonging. Every soul yearns to know where it comes from and where it is going. We search for purpose in our jobs, in our relationships, in our achievements. But nothing fully satisfies until we connect with the higher design that has been written over our lives since before time began. The mystery of the 12 tribes is not a forgotten relic of ancient Israel. It is a living key, unlocking the connection between your present struggles and the eternal plan of God. When you begin to see how these tribes are more than names, more than history, you realize they reveal a blueprint for identity, destiny, and restoration. So many people live life drifting, feeling lost, uncertain of who they are. They chase after empty promises, drowning in the noise of this world, but never finding true peace. Yet hidden in prophecy is a reminder that God has never lost sight of his people. He knows where each tribe is, and he knows where you are. Nothing about your journey has been forgotten. The scattered tribes symbolize a scattered humanity, yet the promise of their return is also the promise of your restoration. This is why uncovering the hidden identity of the 12 tribes matters, because in their story, you will see your own story reflected. This message is not about curiosity. It is about awakening. It is about realizing that the struggles you face are not random. The battles you fight are not meaningless. They are connected to a larger design, a design that spans generations, one that prophecy has whispered about for centuries. When you open your heart to this truth, you begin to realize that you are not small, you are not forgotten, and you are not without purpose. You are part of a much greater plan, one that stretches from the ancient deserts of Israel to the very place where you stand right now. Stay with this journey, because what you are about to uncover will lift you out of fear, out of confusion, and into clarity. It will show you that the God who named each tribe has also written your name on his heart. You will discover that your identity is not defined by failure, not limited by your past, and not broken beyond repair. You belong to a greater truth, and as each hidden layer of prophecy is revealed, you will feel the weight of hopelessness fall away and the light of purpose rise within you. If you have ever wondered why you are here, why life feels like a struggle, and if your existence truly matters, then this is your moment. The mystery of the 12 tribes is not a story about others. It is a message calling out to you. And when you hear it fully, when you let it awaken your spirit, you will never see yourself the same way again. Stay until the very end, because the truth you are about to uncover is the truth that can set you free. Every generation is marked by a search for meaning, but few ever recognize that the answers they are desperate for have already been spoken from the beginning. The mystery of the 12 tribes is not just a tale preserved in sacred text. It is a living mirror that reflects the deepest longings of the human soul. Each tribe carried a name, a purpose, and a destiny. Yet when they drifted, they scattered into nations, lost among the noise of the world. This scattering mirrors the human heart. When you feel broken, when you feel distant from who you were created to be, you are living out the same story of the tribes. But the God who promised their return is the same God who promises your restoration. There is power in knowing you were chosen for more. Not chosen by the world, not chosen by circumstance, but chosen before time by the one who called every star by name. The tribes reveal that no life is accidental. Each was born with a role, a contribution, a divine identity. And so are you. The forces that try to silence you, that convince you you are ordinary, are the same forces that scattered the tribes. But scattering is not the end of the story. What is broken will be gathered again. What feels lost will be restored. And when that truth sinks into your spirit, it begins to shatter the lies of insignificance that have held you back. You may feel small in this world. You may feel unseen, unheard, and forgotten. But the hidden truth speaks louder than present pain. Just as the tribes were concealed, waiting to be revealed in time, your true identity has been hidden beneath layers of doubt, fear, and limitation. You have been taught to measure yourself by achievements, failures, or the opinions of others. But prophecy teaches you to measure yourself by the eternal, by the calling God has placed on your life. That calling cannot be erased by your mistakes. It cannot be diminished by rejection. It cannot be stolen by those who misunderstand you. The 12 tribes remind us that identity is not something you invent. It is something you uncover. You are not wandering through life trying to make meaning. Meaning has already been woven into your existence. The tribes carried promises that outlived their wandering, and you carry promises that outlive your struggles. Within every setback you face, within every hardship that shakes you, there is a hidden invitation to remember who you really are. The more the world tries to scatter you, the more God calls you to rise. This is why you cannot let yourself be defined by temporary pain. What feels like loss today may be the very path to awakening tomorrow. The same God who watched over the tribes across centuries watches over you in this very moment. Nothing has escaped his eye. Nothing has slipped from his hands. Even in your wandering, he sees the fullness of your destiny. Even in your weakness, he sees the strength he placed within you from the beginning. Hold on to this truth with all your heart. You are not here by chance. You are part of a mystery bigger than you could ever imagine. And every detail of your life is part of a prophecy being written into history. As the hidden identity of the tribes comes into focus, so will your own. And when you see it, you will understand why you were created, why you were chosen, and why your life still carries a destiny the world cannot take away. The deepest battle you will ever face is not against the world outside of you, but against the voice within that tries to convince you that you are powerless. That voice tells you that your struggles define you, that your failures are final, that your weaknesses will always hold you back. Yet the truth of the 12 tribes proves otherwise. They were scattered, broken, seemingly erased from history, yet God never erased their names. If he would not forget them across centuries, how could he ever forget you? Your worth is not determined by how lost you feel, but by the fact that your identity has been preserved in the heart of the one who made you. Every tribe carried a prophetic destiny, and so do you. That destiny may be buried beneath years of pain, hidden under layers of self-doubt, or silenced by the voices that told you to settle for less. But destiny does not disappear because of delay. It waits. It waits for the moment you finally choose to rise, to stop listening to the lies, and to see yourself as more than a victim of circumstance. The gathering of the tribes is not only a promise of restoration for a people, it is a promise that what is broken in your life can and will be restored. You were not created to wander aimlessly, disconnected from purpose. You were created with intention. The very breath in your lungs is proof that heaven has invested in your life. You carry something unique, something no one else in this world has, and no failure can erase it. The enemy of your soul wants you to believe you are ordinary, but prophecy declares you are chosen. It whispers that you are part of a divine plan that stretches from eternity past into eternity future. And when you begin to accept that truth, fear loses its power over you. Think about the weight of this. If God can hold nations together across millennia, if he can preserve tribes scattered to the ends of the earth, then he can hold your life together, no matter how fractured it feels right now. You may see broken pieces, but he sees a design. You may see chaos, but he sees alignment. You may see delay, but he sees timing. Nothing in your life is wasted. Every trial is shaping you. Every challenge is preparing you. Every tear you've shed is watering the soil of a greater destiny about to break forth. This is why you cannot give up. Yes. This is why you cannot let the voice of doubt win. You are not too far gone, not too broken, not too late. Just as the 12 tribes still carry the promise of return, you still carry the promise of becoming who you were always meant to be. Within you is a strength that has not yet been fully revealed. Within you is a calling that the world still needs. Within you is the proof that prophecy is alive. Lift your head and remind yourself, you are not lost. You are found. You are not forgotten. You are remembered. You are remembered. And when the moment comes that truth ignites within you, you will step out of the shadows of fear and into the light of purpose. The same God who named every tribe has also named you, and nothing in this world can erase what he has declared over your life. Every human heart carries the same hunger, the desire to know why we are here. We crave significance, yet so often we drown in feelings of inadequacy, believing that our lives are small and our struggles meaningless. But the mystery of the 12 tribes reveals that nothing is meaningless. Each tribe had a name that carried identity, a blessing that carried destiny, and a role that carried purpose. Those names still echo, those blessings still speak, and those roles still point to a design far greater than human understanding. If God could weave eternal meaning into the lives of those who came before, then your life too is filled with meaning far deeper than what you see today. This is where transformation begins. When you realize you are not here just to survive, not here to merely endure the passing of days, but here to fulfill a divine assignment. It does not matter how far you have strayed or how broken you feel. What was scattered can be gathered. What was lost can be found. What was hidden can be revealed. And the moment you embrace that truth, your spirit awakens to strength you did not know you had. The 12 tribes symbolize more than history. They symbolize humanity's journey. They teach us that identity can be lost, but it can also be rediscovered. They teach us that exile is not the end, but the beginning of return. They teach us that promises delayed are not promises denied. The same applies to you. The dreams within you may have been delayed. The calling inside you may feel buried, but delay is not defeat. You are still on course. The author of your life has not abandoned the script he wrote for you. What makes this truth so powerful is that it does not depend on your perfection. The tribes faltered, yet they were not erased. You too may stumble, but your destiny remains. Your worth is not based on flawless execution, but on the unshakable promise of the one who created you. That is why failure cannot define you. Rejection cannot diminish you. Fear cannot hold you forever. These things may try to bury you, but they cannot keep you from rising. Your soul is stronger than you think. You have endured battles that would have broken others, yet you are still standing. That alone is proof that you are not ordinary. You are marked by resilience, shaped by challenges, and chosen for something greater than you can see right now. The same God who declared the restoration of the tribes declares restoration over you. And when God declares, no force in heaven or earth can silence it. Let this truth sink deeply into your heart. Your identity is not fragile. It cannot be stolen. It cannot be destroyed. It cannot be erased. It may be hidden beneath the weight of life, but it is waiting to be uncovered. And when you see yourself the way God has always seen you, you will never again bow to fear or settle for less than the fullness of your calling. The hidden identity of the tribes is the hidden strength within you. Rise into it, because the time for awakening is now. Within you is a strength that has been tested, a fire that has endured seasons of silence, and a spirit that refuses to be extinguished. This is not by chance. It is evidence that you are connected to something eternal, something that stretches beyond your own lifetime. The mystery of the 12 tribes is a reminder that identity is not fragile but enduring, because it is rooted in divine intention. Just as the tribes could not be erased from history, you cannot be erased from the plan of God. Even when the world overlooks you, even when people dismiss you, even when you doubt yourself, heaven has already spoken your name with purpose and power. The greatest tragedy is not failure. It is living without awareness of who you truly are. Too many settle for a life of survival, never awakening to the truth that they are called to walk with authority, with vision, with unshakable faith. But you are not meant to live small. You are not meant to hide in the shadows of fear. You are meant to rise, to embody the identity that was written into your soul before the foundations of the world. The 12 tribes stand as living proof that what God establishes cannot be destroyed. In the same way, what he has placed within you cannot be removed. No matter how dark the night has been, there is a reason you feel the tension between where you are and where you know you are meant to be. That tension is not failure, it is calling. It is the echo of destiny pulling you forward, reminding you that you are not finished. Every trial you face, every tear you shed, every weight you carry is shaping you into someone stronger than you realize. The struggles that once felt like chains will become the very testimony that sets you free. Just as the tribes carried their history into their restoration, you will carry your scars into your transformation, and those scars will no longer be symbols of pain, but of power. You do not need to wait for someone else to validate you. You do not need the approval of the world to step into who you already are. Validation was written into your being. The moment God breathed life into you, your worth was secured long before anyone's opinion, long before rejection, long before failure. The hidden identity within you has always been present. It only needs to be uncovered. And the moment you choose to believe this truth is the moment everything begins to shift. Lift your eyes beyond the noise of your doubts and fix them on the certainty of your destiny. You are not broken beyond repair. You are not wandering without direction. You are not abandoned to chance. You are part of a plan so vast, so intentional, that even your pain has purpose. Every setback is a setup for breakthrough. Every silence is preparing you for a greater sound. Every delay is aligning you with perfect timing. Stand in this truth with confidence. The same God who called tribes by name calls you by name. The same God who preserved their identity preserves yours. Nothing is wasted, nothing is lost, and nothing is beyond redemption. What is hidden within you is ready to be revealed. And when it is, you will walk not as someone uncertain, but as someone unshakable. Someone who finally knows who they are and why they were created. You were not created to blend into the noise of this world. You were created to stand out, to shine with a light that cannot be hidden, to walk in a truth that cannot be silenced. The hidden identity of the tribes is not simply about where they came from, but about what they carried within them, an unshakable promise of destiny. That same unshakable promise is alive in you. No matter what has come against you, no matter how long you have wandered, the truth remains unchanged. You are chosen, you are called, and you are marked for more. The enemy of purpose is distraction. Every day, the world tries to scatter your attention, just as the tribes were scattered across nations. Fear distracts you, doubt distracts you, and the constant pull of temporary pleasures distracts you. But deep within, your spirit longs for clarity, for alignment, for a path that rises above the noise. That longing is not weakness. It is evidence that you were designed for something eternal. The same God who gathered the scattered will gather the fragments of your life and restore you into wholeness if you refuse to surrender to distraction. Do not underestimate the power within you. What you carry is greater than the obstacles before you. The pain you feel is not the end of your story. It is the pressure that reveals the strength of your foundation. Diamonds are formed under pressure, and warriors are shaped through battles. Every challenge is proof that there is something worth fighting for in you. If your life had no purpose, you would not face such resistance. The intensity of your battles is evidence of the magnitude of your destiny. What sets apart those who rise is not that their path is free of struggle, but that they decide to stand firm in the midst of struggle. The tribes endured captivity, exile, and loss, yet their names remained. You may have endured disappointment, betrayal, or seasons where hope seemed far away, yet you are still here. That is not weakness, it is resilience. It is the quiet testimony that you are stronger than you thought and more capable than you believed. Your mind may tell you that you are defined by the past, but your spirit knows you are defined by promise. The past may explain where you have been, but it cannot dictate where you are going. Destiny is forward, not backward. Identity is discovered in the unfolding, not in the regrets of yesterday. The hidden truth within you is waiting to be embraced, waiting for you to finally step beyond fear and into faith, beyond hesitation and into courage, beyond doubt and into unshakable conviction. This is the moment to rise. This is the moment to break free from the lies that have chained you. You are not powerless. You are not forgotten. You are not ordinary. You are part of a greater design, one that has been woven through prophecy, preserved through time, and now calls out to you with undeniable force. Lift your head, strengthen your heart, and remember this. You carry within you the same unbreakable promise the tribes carried, and that promise will not fail. It will not fade. It will not be silenced. It will bring you into the fullness of who you were always meant to be. There is a reason your heart refuses to settle for less. Deep inside, you know that you were created for more than comfort, more than survival, more than repeating the same patterns day after day. You were created to walk in truth, to rise in power, to live in alignment with the purpose written into you since before time began. The hidden identity of the tribes reminds us that destiny cannot be erased by delay. Even when centuries passed, their promise remained alive. The same is true for you. No matter how long you have waited, no matter how many times you have stumbled, the promise of who you are has not died. It is still breathing, waiting for you to embrace it. When you silence the noise of doubt and fear, you begin to hear the echo of something greater, a voice that calls you beyond mediocrity, beyond limitation, beyond every false identity you've carried. That voice is the same voice that spoke promises over the tribes, the same voice that refused to let them be forgotten. It is calling you back to yourself, back to the strength you buried, back to the truth you almost gave up on. You are not defined by the battles you lost. You are defined by the fact that you are still here, still breathing, still capable of becoming everything you were destined to be. The world will try to convince you to settle. It will tell you that it is easier to stay hidden, easier to conform, easier to silence your voice. But every time you feel that restlessness inside, it is proof that you were never made for less. You were made to stand as a testimony of what happens when someone refuses to be broken by life. You were made to embody the truth that identity cannot be stolen, that purpose cannot be extinguished, that destiny cannot be denied. Do not let fear convince you that you are too weak, too late, or too flawed. Fear thrives on lies. It feeds on hesitation. But when you choose to believe the truth, fear loses its grip. And the truth is this: you are already more than enough. You carry within you the seeds of greatness. You hold inside you the evidence of divine intention. And when you begin to live as if this is true, everything around you begins to change. Every hidden strength is awakened when you decide to stop running from who you are. Every hidden gift is unlocked when you choose to step into the fullness of your identity. Every hidden promise is revealed when you refuse to quit. The tribes were scattered, yet not destroyed. You may feel scattered, but you are not destroyed. You may feel wounded, but you are not defeated. You may feel weary, but you are closer to breakthrough than you realize. Stand firm in this reality. You are chosen, you are called, you are marked by something eternal. Let that truth burn in your spirit until every chain of limitation falls. Let it rise within you until every lie is silenced. Let it shape the way you live, breathe, and walk through this world. Because once you awaken to who you truly are, nothing will ever be able to stop you from becoming everything you were meant to be. You have carried weight that few have seen. You have walked through storms that threatened to break you. You have faced silence when you prayed for answers, and still you are here. That alone is proof that you are not ordinary. You are chosen to endure, chosen to overcome, chosen to rise when others would have fallen. The hidden identity of the tribes is not just their survival, it is their resilience. They stood as proof that what God establishes cannot be erased, and so do you. Every scar on your soul is a mark of survival. Every trial a testimony that you are still being shaped for something greater. You may have doubted it. You may have buried it beneath fear, but it has never left you. That strength is your inheritance. It is the same strength that carried generations through exile, the same strength that refuses to let you give up now. When you look at yourself through the lens of failure, you see limitation. But when you look at yourself through the lens of prophecy, you see destiny. And destiny is not fragile. It does not break because you have fallen. It does not disappear because you are weary. It remains, waiting for the moment you decide to step into it fully. The greatest lie you will ever face is the lie that tells you that you are not enough. That lie has silenced voices, stolen dreams, and chained countless lives in fear. But the truth is stronger. The truth declares that you are more than enough because you were created with intention. You were crafted with purpose. You were set apart to carry light into a world that desperately needs it. The same way the tribes carried blessing across generations, you carry a blessing meant to impact more lives than you realize. Do not underestimate the power of your existence. You may think your life is small, but heaven never called you small. You may think your mistakes disqualify you, but the author of your life never disqualified you. The very breath in your lungs is evidence that your story is still being written. And if your story is still being written, then the ending has not yet been decided. That means there is still time to rise, still time to reclaim what was lost, still time to walk in the fullness of who you were created to be. The awakening of the tribes was not sudden. It was a process, and your awakening may feel the same. But do not despise the process. Every step matters. Every breakthrough, no matter how small, is progress. Every act of faith is a declaration that you refuse to live beneath your calling. The hidden identity within you is not waiting for the perfect moment. It is waiting for your willingness to believe. Believe that you are chosen. Believe that you are capable. Believe that you are called to stand even when standing feels impossible. This is the hour to shake off the lies that have weighed you down. This is the moment to rise from the ashes of fear. This is the time to declare with unshakable conviction that nothing can erase what God has spoken over your life. Lift your spirit to this truth. You are more than what you see right now. You are the living proof of promise, the reflection of prophecy, and the bearer of a destiny that will not be silenced. Everything in your life has been leading you to this point. Every trial, every delay, every unanswered question has been preparing you for awakening. You may not have seen it while walking through the struggle, but even in silence, purpose was shaping you. The hidden identity of the tribes was not revealed in comfort. It was revealed after wandering, after scattering, after seasons of being forgotten. And so it is with you. The moments you thought were breaking, you were in fact aligning you. The seasons you thought were wasted were actually preparing you. Nothing has been wasted, because nothing in your journey is outside the hand of the one who called you. You must understand the depth of what it means to be chosen. Chosen does not mean life will be easy. Chosen means life will have weight, because destiny carries weight. Chosen means opposition will rise, because purpose provokes resistance. But chosen also means you are equipped. Chosen means you are sustained. Chosen means that even when you fall, grace lifts you again and reminds you that your name is still written in the plan of God. The tribes endured exile, but exile could not erase promise. You may have endured pain, but pain cannot erase your calling. What is eternal cannot be undone by what is temporary. Inside of you, identity has been waiting to be recognized. For too long, you may have let the voices of others dictate your worth. For too long, you may have measured yourself by what you lacked. But there comes a moment when truth shatters the illusions, when you finally see that you were never meant to conform to limitation. You were meant to reflect eternity. You were meant to rise with courage, to live with clarity, to walk with strength. And the moment you embrace that reality, the lies that once held you captive lose all their power. Do not confuse delay with denial. Do not confuse silence with absence. The same God who preserved the tribes is the same God preserving you. The process you are in may feel hidden, but hidden does not mean forgotten. Hidden means preparation. Just as a seed must be buried before it breaks forth, your identity has been growing in the unseen, waiting for the moment it would burst into full light. What has been concealed will be revealed. What has been dormant will come alive. What has felt lost will be restored. Your destiny is not a distant dream. It is within you, ready to be awakened. But awakening requires choice. It requires the decision to believe the truth over the lie, to choose courage over fear, to rise instead of shrink back. You were not created to live in the shadows. You were created to stand as a reflection of divine promise. And when you step into that, not only does your life change, you become a light that awakens others. This is your moment to see yourself clearly. Not as broken, not as insignificant, not as forgotten, but as chosen, called, and destined. Let this truth echo within you until it becomes unshakable. Nothing can erase what God has spoken. Nothing can silence what He has placed within you. Nothing can stop the rising of who you were always meant to be.